I'm back with the new course that I'm launching on 17th. And this session is a sneak peek into that course. So this course that I'm talking about, it is starting on 17th. It's a reading comprehension course wherein we'll be, attempting previous year questions based on various competitive exams. So the classes that I'm planning to cover, the reading comprehension or the exams that I'm planning to cover are yeah. So the courses that I'm planning to cover are so for example, I'm planning to take RCs based on ZAT, followed by CAT, followed by IFT. Then I'll also be taking previous year reading comprehension of TIS, IRMA, and SNAP. So this is a 8-day course starting on 17th. Timing is 10:30 in the night, 10:30 to 11:30, right? Hi Kuldeep. Kuldeep, can you tell me a little about yourself so that I have a better idea about, hi Ashwin. So Kuldeep, are you a student or you're a working professional? And what is your year of attempts? 2020 or 21? You're preparing for banking. All right, Kuldeep. All right. So, 2020. All right. So, today we'll be doing RC. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's better that if you prepare on the tougher one. So Kuldeep, though this is CAT, but then these days the level of banking papers or the competitive exam that banking has been asking, the level of reading comprehension, if I'll say that it is almost at par with what we see in the MBA entrances. So reading comprehension, anyways, it's always better to solve on the tougher level in terms of difficulty, language, and solve range of questions. All right. So, but since it is directed towards CAT students, I'll have to shed a little more light on the exam that we are going to talk about today and the previous year questions of that. So that as an examination, it's conducted for XLRI, right? And if we talk about the paper pattern here, so what happens is that the number of questions are very, they vary year to year. But 2018 onwards, it has become a online based exam. Earlier, it was paper based. Now, if I look at last year's number of questions, so there were 99 questions in total, wherein you had 26 questions in verbal, 21 questions in your decision making, and plus 27 questions were there, which were of content DI. So that's one section. And then 25 questions were based on GK. Now, आपका जो percentile evaluation होता है that में, that is through these 74 or 76 questions. Here it is 74, but sometimes, as I said, it is variable. कभी 74 होंगे, कभी 76 भी हो सकते हैं. Now, if we look at that, so what happens is that it is one of the toughest exam. I mean, it is said or it is believed in the industry that because CAT happens in November, so whatever the level of CAT is, at least 10 to 20% more difficult questions are asked on that. So that's one thing. Second, what you see is that you need to prepare for these two sections separately, because if you look at CAT, you don't have GK on CAT, but for that you have to prepare for GK, which is good also because anyways हमारा जो exam है that वो जनवरी में होता है, एंड जनवरी में होता है तो फेब एंड मार्च में anyways हमारा GDPIs and the second round of your selection procedure begins for many of the B schools. So anyways you will require GD if it is आप GD के लिए आपको GK चाहिए होगा, राइटिंग एबिलिटी टेस्ट के लिए आपको GK चाहिए होगा. तो जनवरी में जब जैट होता है तो जैट में anyways आप GK पढ़ते हो, तो साइड it's a kind of an added advantage, or you are killing two birds with the same stone कि आपका GK prepare भी हो जाता है. Now, out of these 74 questions, so for every correct answer, you get plus one, and for a wrong answer, you have a minus 0.25. But you cannot leave more than 8 questions unattempted. तो आप अगर आप 8 questions unattempted छोड़ रहे हो और उससे ज्यादा 8 तक तो ठीक है, बट 8 से ज्यादा अगर होता है तो that invites a penalty of 0.1% or 0.5% that they release in every notification. So last year it was 0.5. तो उसका नेगेटिव मार्किंग 8 क्वेश्चन से ज्यादा अगर आपने अनअटेम्प्टेड छोड़े हैं, सो देन it invites a penalty of this also. So this is about that, and the colleges which accept that course, the that scores. So one is XLRI itself because it's this is a conducting college. Then XIM accepts the score. Then your SP Gen accepts the that score. IMT Ghaziabad accepts the score. Micah accepts that score. So you can target all these colleges with that score as well. Number of test takers, if I talk about last year, there were 75,000 test takers. So it is always advisable that you take that as well when you're preparing for CAT, because I understand that CAT का preparation में से verbal prepare कर रहे हैं, DM जो है वो अलग से होता है. So I'll be taking classes for decision making also. Now, let's talk about the reading comprehension. So, we'll be solving two reading comprehensions based on 2015 ZAT-RC. So, दो ZAT-RC solve करते हैं अभी जो 2015 के हैं. Now, ZAT के RCs में difference क्या है? So, ZAT what it does is it is not a speed based test, because आपका ZAT का exam जो है वो they give you 3 hours to attempt the paper. Sometimes it can be 3.5, sometimes it's 3. So as I said that what is interesting or what is challenging for some students about this exam is that it is very very variable and versatile. Some year it's going to be 76 questions, sometimes it can be 70 questions, sometimes it's going to be 80 questions. Then apart from that, even if you look at, if I talk about verbal section, so verbal section में 26 questions का में से अगर हम split करें तो about 14 to 16 last 3 years का अगर मैं trend देखूं तो 14 to 16 questions are based on reading comprehension. जैसे last year 4 passages, so there were 4 passages that they asked. Apart from reading comprehension, what you get here is questions based on analogies, parajumbles. So there's some trouble in writing. So you have parajumbles, then some big questions based on critical reasoning. So these are the other types of questions that you can experience, in a ZAT paper. Hi, Akansha. So 14 to 16 questions, so that is 4 passages. Now, passages में language dense रहेगा, length short रहेगी. Also, there can be poems also. So that sometimes give you poems. So it will not be an analytical passage. It's not going to be a descriptive passage. It's not going to be a philosophical passage, but rather it's going to be a very literature-based, hardcore literature poem that they can give you. So let's quickly begin with the reading comprehension. So we'll first read. So as I said, 2018 से पेपर ऑनलाइन हो गया है, एंड जैट के पेपर में yes of course one more difference is that instead of 5 4 options what you get in most of your B school competitive exams, in that you get 5 options, not 4 options. Any doubt so far? If you have any doubt or you want me to elaborate on something else, you can let me know. If you have a doubt, then yes, otherwise no. Great. All right. So let's begin with the comprehension. Let's read. Once you're done reading, then we can move to the next slide where rest of the passages. So it's a 2015 ZAT-RC. Guys, I'll be back. Continue reading. Yes. Done reading? So if you're done reading, just let me know. We'll proceed to the next page. All right. Next. So let's first read the entire RC. Hi, Ray. Akanksha and Ray, can you help me know which exam you're preparing for? Like your target exam and the target year? Done? Read? Shall we go to the next slide and read the passage further? Guys, if you're done reading, select yes. And don't read questions right now. Just try reading the comprehension. So if you're done reading, select yes. Alright, let's go to the next slide. Let me know if you're done reading. We'll go to the next slide. Everyone done? If someone's still reading, you can select no. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Acha, okay. So now a few inputs before we attempt questions. So when you're reading a comprehension, and let's say that you're short on time, so what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to read the first and last sentence. If you cannot manage to read the whole of it, then try reading the first and last sentence of every paragraph. So for example, if you talk about this one, my pen is giving me trouble today. Just one second. So for example, just wait. So for just one second, guys. Yeah. So for example, if you're talking about first and last sentence of every paragraph, so hi Mahima, the understanding of hmm, the understanding of that has sorry that the brain has areas of specialization has brought with it the tendency to teach in the ways that reflect these specialized functions. Okay, so now we have the understanding that the areas of specialization has brought with it is the tendency to teach in ways that reflect these specialized functions. So that means now that I understand, I'm going to. I'll just try to be very very quick in terms of trying to convert it into my language. So this will come with practice. तो आपको first and last sentence को अपनी language में convert करके whatever your language is, just try to understand what it is trying to say. So first sentence done. Last sentence. Learning is about making connections within the brain and between the brain and outside world. So in the brain and between the brain, within the brain, between the brain and outside world. So when you do that, so learning is making connection. So I'm making connection in my brain, between the brain and outside world. So in the brain hoga or between and outside brain hoga. All right. So next paragraph. What does this mean? They're elaborating. Until recently, the idea that neural basis for learning resided in connections between neurons remained speculation. ओके अंटिल रिसेंटली ना अंटिल रिसेंटली मतलब अभी तक ऐसा लगता था कि ये कनेक्शंस जो हैं ये शायद हमारी लर्निंग का बेसिस होते हैं कि हम अगर प्रॉपर न्यूरल कनेक्शंस बना लें तो उनसे लर्निंग हो सकती है या उनसे लर्निंग फास्टर हो सकती है दिस वाज दी टिल नाउ दिस वाज अ स्पेकुलेशन स्पेकुलेशन का मीनिंग क्या होता है प्लीज टाइप द आंसर व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ स्पेकुलेशन व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ स्पेकुलेशन कुलदीप महिमा क्या मीनिंग होता है स्पेकुलेशन का not hidden exactly, but it means that something which people used to doubt. Speculate करना मतलब कि लोग guess करते थे ऐसा. अब उन्होंने यहाँ क्या लिखा until recently मतलब अभी recently तक लोग guess करते थे but अब क्या हो गया है वो चीज because I'm saying until recently तो मतलब recently क्या हो गया होगा वो establish हो गया है कि हाँ ऐसा होता है कि आपकी learning जो है वो आप जो है अपने कनेक्शंस अगर न्यूरल कनेक्शंस आपके प्रॉपर बनेंगे तो वो आपकी लर्निंग को इम्पैक्ट करते हैं ये प्रूव ही हो चुका है राइट लास्ट सेंटेंस okay so last sentence is this evidence I guess this is the last yes this is the last sentence so this evidence also indicates that learning creates connection between not only adjacent neurons but also between distant neurons and that connections are made from simple circuits to complex ones and from complex circuit to सिंपल वन ओके सो कनेक्शन जो है वो क्लोज सर्किट्स में नहीं बनता है वो क्लोज न्यूरॉन एडजेसेंट जो पास में न्यूरॉन्स होते हैं उनमें नहीं बनता बट जो डिस्टेंट होते हैं उनमें भी बनता है एंड द रिलेशनशिप ऑफ द कनेक्शन कैन बी अ सिंपल circuit or it can be a complex circuit right as connections are formed among adjacent neurons to form circuit connections also begin to form from the neuron in other regions of the brain that are associated with visual tactile and even olfactory information related to the sound of the world अब इस पूरे पैराग्राफ में दो ही sentences हैं तो पूरा ही पढ़ना पड़ेगा meaning is attributed to sounds of words because of these connections so meaning is attributed to sound of words because of these connections so they're quoting the example here, right? Next, some of the brain sites for these other neurons are far from the neural circuits that correspond to the component sound of the world. They include sites in other areas of the left hemisphere and even the sites in the right hemisphere. The whole complex of interconnected neurons that are activated by the word is called neural नेटवर्क तो पूरा जब हम एक वर्ड बोलते हैं तो जो भी पूरा कनेक्शन बनता है हमारे ब्रेन में उसका मीनिंग इन्फर करने के लिए उस पूरे कनेक्शन को हम क्या बोलते हैं न्यूरल नेटवर्क बोलते हैं राइट इन अर्ली स्टेजेस ऑफ लर्निंग न्यूरल सर्किट्स आर एक्टिवेटेड पीसमील मतलब थोड़ा बहुत छोटा 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 इनकम्प्लीटली एंड वीकली अब मान लो कि मुझे पीसमील का मीनिंग नहीं पता So please notice this and एक ऐसा कंजंक्शन है जो सिमिलर चीजों को ज्वाइन करेगा. तो एंड के साथ उन्होंने क्या लिखा था? वीकली. नाउ आई नो वीकली इज अ नेगेटिव वर्ड, इनकम्प्लीट इज अ नेगेटिव वर्ड. तो ये जब कॉमा में चल रहा है तो ये भी क्या होगा? नेगेटिव. सो व्हाट दे आर सेइंग इज कि इन द अर्ली स्टेजेस नेटवर्क कैसा होगा? वीक होगा. सो सिंपल. ऑलराइट, लास्ट. The newly acquired skill or knowledge are nothing but formation of neural circuits and networks. So this is the entire passage. Now, in terms of difficulty, how many of you think that it was easier to read? Wasn't it? The language is something that is day to day, right? Or no? You found it difficult? Please select a choice. All right. ठीक है. So for some of you the language was difficult and for some of you it was easier. तो इस पे कैसे वर्क करना है वो देख लेते हैं. सो ये हो गया रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का जिस्ट. अभी हमने जिस्ट पढ़ लिया है. नाउ वी कैन ट्राई अटेम्प्टिंग द क्वेश्चंस, राइट? ऑलराइट, नाउ इट कैन बी इन्फर्ड. Guys, what do we mean by inference? Before we go to the comprehension, what do we mean by inference? क्या होता है इन्फ्लुएंस का मीनिंग? इन्फ्लुएंस का मीनिंग होता है एनीथिंग विच इज हिडन इन द पैसेज, नॉट रिटन एज इट इज. सो अगर मुझे ये लाइन एज इट इज कहीं दिखेगी आंसर ऑप्शन में और क्वेश्चन इन्फ्लुएंस का, तो मैं उस ऑप्शन को कैंसिल कर दूंगी, बिकॉज इन्फ्लुएंस मीन्स समथिंग दैट इज what is given, that is some clues are given to you. You need to complete those clues with your own knowledge, and then what you get is your inference. तो कोई भी चीज अगर डायरेक्टली लिखी है एज इट इज और वो ऑप्शन में गिवन है तो वो आपका आंसर नहीं होगा. नाउ लेट्स सी कि इसमें से हिडन इंफॉर्मेशन क्या हो सकती है, राइट? तो ऑप्शन ए आंसर होगा क्या? डू यू थिंक ऑप्शन ए आंसर होगा इन्फ्रेंस का? It can be inferred that for a nursery student, learning will. No, I'm saying, do you think option A can be the answer? Can it be the answer? Say yes or no. ओके. आप ये चीज इसलिए बोल रहे हो बिकॉज आपने ये सेंटेंस एज इट इज पढ़ा है. हमने ये सेंटेंस पढ़ा था. लेट्स गो बैक एंड सी कहाँ पढ़ा था. सो दिस इज सेइंग हियर, in the early stages of learning, neural circuits are activated piecemeal, incompletely, and weakly. And what I told you is कि as it is given होगा तो आंसर नहीं हो सकता करेक्ट. But did you read the question carefully? Read it. It can be inferred that for a nursery student. Now see, nursery student, is it given to us anywhere? Nursery student के बारे में कहीं पढ़ा हमने in the passage? No. वहां क्या लिखा था कि अर्ली स्टेजेस ऑफ लर्निंग में पीसमील होता है. तो अर्ली स्टेजेस ऑफ लर्निंग किसकी होंगी? इट इज गोइंग टू बी ऑफ नर्सरी स्टूडेंट. तो इट कैन बी अ पॉसिबल आंसर. इसको होल्ड पे रखते हैं, आगे चलते हैं. बी अ प्लेजेंट experience due to formation of improved connection among neurons. It's going to be a pleasant experience. कहीं पे भी हिडन में कहीं पे भी दिखा आपको पढ़ने पर कि हैप्पी और प्लेजेंट की बात हुई है? Did it talk about happy or pleasant? Correct. Similarly, lead to complex behavior due to formation of new connections among neurons. अब ये कॉम्प्लेक्स वर्ड उन्होंने वहां यूज करा था कॉम्प्लेक्स सर्किट के टर्म्स में कि इट क्रिएट सिंपल सर्किट्स एंड कॉम्प्लेक्स सर्किट. यहाँ पे वो क्या बोल रहे हैं? लीड टू कॉम्प्लेक्स बिहेवियर ड्यू टू फॉर्मेशन ऑफ न्यू कनेक्शंस अमंग स्टूडेंट्स. So did they anywhere say that the behavior of a student will become complex? या कहीं से भी पढ़ने में आपको ऐसा नो, सो इट वाजंट देयर. नेक्स्ट, be better if discrete subjects are taught than a mix of subject. Did it anywhere say or give the idea कि एक ही सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाएंगे, मिक्स ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स नहीं पढ़ाइए? Hi Vajit. Yeah, so did it anywhere say कि एक ही सब्जेक्ट पढ़ाना चाहिए और बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट्स नहीं पढ़ाने चाहिए एक साथ? नो, एंड इवन लास्ट वाला भी नहीं बोला. सो गो बाय एलिमिनेशन एंड यू नो कि ऐसा कुछ भी गिवन नहीं था और मेरी नॉलेज इससे कनेक्ट नहीं करती. अब हमें गिवन क्या था, तो ये वाला लॉजिक लगाते हैं. हमें गिवन ये वाली इंफॉर्मेशन है, करेक्ट, एज इट इज गिवन होती तो हम एलिमिनेट कर देते, लेकिन उन्होंने इन्फ्रेंस निकालने के लिए हमें अलग से क्या बोल दिया, नर्सरी स्टूडेंट बोल दिया. तो मैं समझ सकती हूँ कि हाँ, अर्ली स्टेजेस ऑफ डेवलपमेंट है. तो अर्ली स्टेज ऑफ डेवलपमेंट किसका हो सकता है, नर्सरी स्टूडेंट का हो सकता है. और हाँ, नर्सरी स्टूडेंट के लिए क्या होगा, ये वाली चीज होगी. तो सम पार्ट इज गिवन, सम ऑफ इट इज हिडन. सो योर आंसर इज ए. एनी डाउट? इफ यू हैव अ डाउट, yes, otherwise no. If you have a doubt, then yes, otherwise no. All right. Chalo. Let's go to next question. Question 2. Read the following statement and answer the question that follows. The two hemispheres of the brain are responsible for learning automatically. So question says, which of the above statements are consistent with the ideas expressed in the passage? So these are the statements. Whatever I've read, which of the following information is consistent with the ideas expressed in the passage? Now, whenever you have this type of a language consistent with the ideas given in the passage, now what you need to do is largely repeat whatever is given एंड एलिमिनेट एनी एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन. क्योंकि मुझे कंसिस्टेंट रखना है, तो जो इंफॉर्मेशन गिवन है उसी के साथ कंसिस्टेंट होना चाहिए, उसी से रेजोनेट करना चाहिए. मतलब हर वो ऑप्शन जिसमें एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन होगी वो क्या हो जाएगा, एलिमिनेट हो जाएगा. सो आई एम गिविंग यू 2 minutes टू अटेम्प्ट दिस क्वेश्चन. चेक फॉर योर सेल्फ, आप खुद चेक करो and let me know what your answer is. Yes, guys, select your answers. Read it. B. Okay. Others? Some of you think D is the answer. That is fourth and fifth. Okay. So there's a divide in the class. Some of you believe answer is B, and some of you say answer is D. All right. Now, as I said, look at the question. Question says, I'm repeating it again. Which of the following statements are consistent with the ideas expressed in the passage? So that means that I have to limit my knowledge to whatever is given. एंड उसी में से आंसर निकालना है. एक्स्ट्रा कुछ भी होगा तो वो एलिमिनेट हो जाएगा. सो प्लीज रिमेंबर द language of the question and then go and attempt it. So let's begin reading. Two hemispheres of the brain are responsible for learning. Till here it is correct. अब यहाँ प्रॉब्लम क्या हो गई? दिस वर्ड ऑटोनॉमसली. ऑटोनॉमसली मतलब ऑन देयर ओन, कि वो इंडिविजुअली केपेबल हैं लर्निंग पॉसिबल कराने के लिए, वो सेल्फ लर्निंग करा सकते हैं. लेट्स सी इफ इट इज कंसिस्टेंट और नॉट. नाउ the understanding that the brain has areas of specialization has brought with it the tendency to teach in the way that reflect these specialized functions. For example, research concerning the specialized function of the left and right hemisphere has led to left and right hemisphere approach. Neither reflects how the brain learns nor how it functions once learning has occurred. To the contrary, in most higher vertebrate brain systems interact together as a whole brain with the external world. So what are they doing? They are interacting together. और मेरा ऑप्शन क्या बोल रहा है कि वो सेपरेटली लेफ्ट ब्रेन एंड राइट हेमिस्फीयर जो है ब्रेन का, वो सेपरेटली भी सेल्फ ऑटोनॉमस, दैट इज सेल्फ में फंक्शन कर सकता है. सो फर्स्ट इज eliminated. Correct? Because why? It is contradicting the passage, so not consistent. Option B. Simultaneous activation of circuits can take place in the different areas of brain. Right? So ये कहाँ लिखा हुआ था? Simultaneous activation. Now, so activation they talked somewhere here. The evidence also includes that the learning create connection between not only adjacent neurons but also between distant neurons, and the connections are made from simple to this. All right. That when learning occurs, neurochemical communication between neurons is facilitated and less input is required to activate established connection over time. ठीक है. So this is consistent, which says that simultaneous activation of circuit can take place in different areas of the brain. So this is correct. There are specific regions of brain associated with sight, touch, and smell. A wonderful use of paraphrasing. See what here they said is, as connections are formed among adjacent neurons to form circuit, connections also begin to form with neurons in other regions of brain that are associated with visual. तो उन्होंने visual का paraphrasing करके हमें बोल दिया. Visual is what? My sight, tactile, which is my touch, and even olfactory. Olfactory is my nose. So, if I'm comfortable with vocabulary and I know the synonyms, it will be easier for me. So, they said other regions of brain are associated with. So, that means that there are specific regions of the brain. Other की जगह उन्होंने specific कर दिए. So, even third is valid. So, if I go by that, so first is wrong, second and third are valid. So, if I look at these options, answer will be Bombay. Any doubt? Okay. Let's go to next question. Which of the following proverbs best describes the passage? Now, proverbs is saying. So, which of the following is appropriate here? I'm so sorry, I did not start the poll. Many a mickle makes a muckle. Okay, and what does that mean, Kuldeep? क्या होता है वो? And others also. So, what they were trying to tell us here, that for my learning, what happens is that I need to develop those न्यूरल कनेक्शंस. इनिशियली स्ट्रांग नहीं होंगे, फिर बाद में स्ट्रांग हो जाएंगे, और एक पॉइंट पे वो इतने स्ट्रांग हो जाएंगे कि मुझे बहुत कम इनपुट देना पड़ेगा टू इम्प्लीमेंट इट. सो आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन इज ई, दैट मेनी अमिकल, दैट मीन्स स्मॉल स्मॉल अमाउंट मेक्स इट large or turns or grows in a abundant quantity. Any doubt? Anyone? Any doubt till here? If you have a doubt, yes, otherwise, no. Next question. A father and son, aged 60 and 25 respectively, have been learning paragliding for quite some time. Based on the above passage, which of the following would be true? Now, it is an application based question. So, again, I have to use what is given, plus, I have to apply my logic to come to the answers. So it's kind of an application of my knowledge, it's kind of an inference also, what I can infer. Please check. Correct. The father might learn more if both of them started at the same time. Right. Okay. Any doubt, anyone? If you have a doubt, then yes, otherwise, no. All right. So, learning from this passage, which I want you guys to remember is one, the language was definitely, I would say it was not too difficult, and maybe trouble, अगर trouble हुआ है ये पढ़ने में, तो ये language I would rate it as, not if not easy then moderate, but definitely not difficult. मतलब इतना तो definitely as a aspirant आपको ये reading comfortable होना चाहिए था. One thing. Second, number of questions. So the second learning is, जैसे for example in this question, हम अगर नर्सरी स्टूडेंट वाली चीज नहीं पढ़ेंगे और समझेंगे नहीं कि नर्सरी स्टूडेंट गिवन नहीं है, तो मैं ए एलिमिनेट ही कर दूंगी कि भाई डायरेक्टली गिवन है. बट व्हाट दे डिड इज, ये गिवन है बट नर्सरी स्टूडेंट गिवन नहीं था, इसलिए इनको कनेक्ट करके हम इन्फ्रेंस ड्रॉ कर पाए हैं. तो क्वेश्चन को ध्यान से पढ़िए, एंड आई हैव सीन दिस इन लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स के वी मिस आउट on in interpreting the question right. So please focus on the instructions, please read each and every word carefully, and try to build that habit from right now itself, from today itself, so that just like the passage said, थोड़ा थोड़ा अभी प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो इवेंचुअली वो हैबिचुअल हो जाएंगे एग्जाम तक. ऑलराइट, so let's go to the next passage now. I'll give you 1 minute to read this. Hi Aman, hi Tithi. So we are done with one passage. We are proceeding to the second passage. It's a ZAT passage that was asked in 2015. You can give it a read. Don't read the question right now, just read the passage. Or let's do it together, guys. So certain way. So see, when you have to read a comprehension, suggestion is that you always read first and last sentence so that you can get the gist or crux of the passage, and then when you are attempting the question, you can delve deeper into the paragraph that you want to read for that particular question. So let's start. Certain variants of key behavioral genes, risk allele, make people more vulnerable to certain moods, psychiatric or personality disorder. All right. So variants of my gene can make my can lead me to a particular mood or a psychiatric or personality disorder. Sentence one. Last sentence, a risk allele then is a simple gene variant that increases your likelihood of developing a problem. वही बात वो लैंग्वेज चेंज करके पैराफ्रेजिंग करके बोल रहे हैं कि आपका एक पर्टिकुलर जीन का वेरिएंट हो सकता है जो आपको मूडी बना सकता है, जो आपको कुछ प्रॉब्लम दे सकता है, और वो प्रॉब्लम क्या है? They earlier mentioned specifically it can be a psychological personality disorder. Now, second paragraph, researchers have identified a dozen of old gene variants that can increase a person's susceptibility, what's wrong with me, to depression, anxiety, and antisocial, sociopathic, or violent behaviors and other problems. Now, वापस से problems को elaborate ही कर रहा है, and he's saying that they have figured out that what are those old gene variants. So this is one. Last sentence. This hypothesis, often called the stress diathesis or genetic vulnerability model, has come to saturate psychiatry and behavioral science. Now, because they are saying this hypothesis, so we'll have to read it here. पूरा पढ़ ही लेते हैं फिर. If and only if the person carrying the variant suffers a traumatic or stressful childhood or faces particularly trying experience later in life, दिस कैन लीड. तो अगर मेरे अंदर वो ओल्ड जीन कैरी कर रही हूँ पर मुझे कुछ ट्रोमैटिक एक्सपीरियंस हो जाता है या कोई चाइल्डहुड स्ट्रेसफुल एक्सपीरियंस होता है, तभी वो एक्टिवेट होगा और मुझे क्या कर देगा, वल्नरेबल कर देगा टुवर्ड्स सच बिहेवियर. ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट. Recently, however, now, however is a contrast word. So, if I was saying कि ये problems create करते हैं, now, because of this, however, there's going to be a U-turn and author उल्टी बात बोलने वाला. So, you need to remember this thing. An alternate hypothesis. So, now he's come to alternate hypothesis. Has emerged from this one and is turning it inside out. उल्टी बात बोल रहे हैं. This new model suggests that it is a mistake to understand the risk gene only as liability. So now they're saying कि नहीं नहीं ये genes जो हैं ये खराब नहीं है, हम इन्हें liability मानते हैं कि ये problem create करते हैं, but ऐसा है नहीं, because that's what they're saying. According to this new thinking, these bad genes can create dysfunctions in unfavorable contexts, but they can also enhance functions in favorable context. तो अगर मेरे को however का मीनिंग पता होगा तो मेरे को ये पैसेज पढ़ने के लिए easier हो जाएगा, क्योंकि however means opposite, so that means कि अभी तक मैं जिन जीन्स को बोल रही थी कि खराब है, मुझे problems देंगे, psychological issue create करेंगे, but now they are actually enhancing and it can be favorable. The genetic sensitivity to negative experience that the vulnerability hypothesis has identified, it follows, are just the downside of a bigger phenomenon, a heightened genetic sensitivity to all experiences. तो वो ये बोल रहे हैं कि वो नेगेटिव प्रॉब्लम्स के लिए तो वल्नरेबल करते ही हैं, बट वो जनरली सारी ही चीजों को क्या कर देते हैं, हाइटन कर देते हैं, सारे एक्सपीरियंसेस को. तो अच्छी चीजें भी आप बहुत स्ट्रांगली एक्सपीरियंस करोगे, और बुरी, that is your problems will also be more intensified. All right, this hypothesis. Now ये वाला this, ये pronoun किसके लिए यूज हुआ है, alternate के लिए या पहले वाले hypothesis के लिए? So this hypothesis is for, this word कौन सा है, for the new hypothesis or the one that we read previously? For the new one. This hypothesis has been anticipated by Swedish folk wisdom, which has long spoken about Dandelion children. The Dandelion children, equivalent to our normal or healthy children with resilient genes, do pretty well almost anywhere, whether raised in the equivalent of a sidewalk crack or well-tended garden. There are also orchid children who will wilt if ignored or one second, or maltreated, but boom spectacularly with greenhouse care. According to this orchid hypothesis, risk becomes possibility, vulnerability becomes plasticity and responsiveness. Sorry, guys. Gene variants generally considered misfortune can instead now be understood as highly leveraged evolutionary bets with both high risk and high potential rewards. Yes, Abhijit, for management exams. So this is a ZAT previous year reading comprehension that we are doing. So ZAT is for Excel आ रहा है. So again, now guys, please आप इसको पढ़ो ध्यान से. High leveraged evolutionary bets with both high risk and high potentials. Isn't it a paraphrasing of the same thing, that I am going to experience all the things with heightened sensitivity? तो वो repeat ही कर रहा है उस चीज को. Just the change of language. All right. In this view, having both Dandelion and Orchid kid greatly raises a family's chance of succeeding over time in any given environment. Of course, मेरे साथ negative हो सकता है कि मुझे depression हो जाए, but ये भी हो सकता है कि I become super rich because I am super intelligent or I am super creative or whatever the reason can be. तो एक ये हो गया. Last sentence पढ़ लेते हैं. Together, the steady dandelion and the mercurial orchids offer an adaptive flexibility that neither can provide alone. Together, they open a path to otherwise unreachable individual and collective achievements. Again, repeating the same idea, right? Now, the word diathesis means, now because I've read, I know where exactly I read it. So here I read it. Now read this location again. जहाँ भी okay. अभी location based questions है guys. The word diathesis means it's a location based question. तो जहाँ पे भी ये word given होगा, उस word जिस sentence में given है, उस sentence में, उसके -1 सेंटेंस में और उसके +1 सेंटेंस में ही आपका आंसर होगा. माइनस वाला, वो वाला सेंटेंस और +1 सेंटेंस, बिकॉज इट्स अ लोकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. तो पढ़ लेते हैं. The person carrying the variant suffers from a traumatic or stressful childhood or faces particularly trying experience later in life. This hypothesis often called the stress. This hypothesis is called stress diathesis. So now, or genetic vulnerability, उन्होंने खुद ही बोल दिया, or it is known as genetic vulnerability. So what do you think is going to be the answer to this question? Question 7. It is susceptible diseases. Paraphrasing है, अगर आपका वो कैप स्ट्रॉन्ग है हो जाएगा. वल्नरेबल था, ससेप्टेबल, एंड यहाँ पे उन्होंने जेनेटिक वल्नरेबिलिटी, तो वल्नरेबिलिटी उन्होंने बोल दिया susceptible, and because they are talking about diseases, so it's easier to identify. All right, let's go to the fifth question. The passage suggests orchids. Now I know orchids is last paragraph, so let me just read the options and then I'll go to the RC. Are insufficient in number, are limited to greenhouses, end up weaker as compared to dandelions, thrive in anesthetized condition, are always too delicate to survive. Take a shot without, try not to regress, try not to read back, but let's look what your answer is. Are limited to greenhouses. Okay, let's go back. Now orchid के बारे में बात हुई है, -1 sentence and +1 sentence. So the orchid is here. There are also orchids. तो यहीं से इंट्रोडक्शन ही चालू हुआ है, तो यहीं से पढ़ते हैं. Children who will wilt if ignored or maltreated but bloom spectacularly with greenhouse care. According to this orchid hypothesis, risk becomes possibility, vulnerability becomes plasticity and responsiveness. Gene variant generally considered misfortune. तो मैं हमारा आंसर मिल ही गया है, that they can boom spectacularly in the greenhouse. तो limited to greenhouse नहीं है. They are not saying that they are, again focus करो words पे. They are not limited to greenhouse. What they are saying is that they are going to thrive in the greenhouse. That means if they are given the proper support system, then they are going to thrive. So what do you think now the answer is going to be? बेटा इनसे वीकर तो होंगे नहीं, वो तो उन्होंने कहा ही नहीं. इनसफिशिएंट भी नहीं है न, उन्होंने बताया थोड़ी कि ये वाले चिल्ड्रन ज्यादा होते हैं कम होते हैं. व्हाट दे आर सेइंग इज कि उनको प्रॉपर कंडीशन मिलेगी, ग्रीन हाउस कंडीशंस मिलेगी. वो एनालॉजी से बात कर रहे हैं, तो आंसर विल बी डी. दे आर नॉट लिमिटेड. दे क्लियरली सेड कि अगर उन्हें हार्श कंडीशंस में रखोगे तो उनके लिए प्रॉब्लम होती है, बट अगर उनको प्रॉपर कंडीशनिंग मिलेगी तो दे कैन सर्वाइव. एनी डाउट एनीवन? All right. Next question. Which of the following statement correctly echoes author's view? Now ये वापस से author's view वाला question है. Echoes का मतलब consistent with the author's view. अब author क्या believe करता है वो देखना है. Try to attempt this question without regretting, regressing, without going back to the past. See if we can attempt. B and D. I'm getting two choices. All right. Majority says B and 33% says it is D. 50-50 हो गया. 60-40. ठीक है, देख लेते हैं. So it's good that we are narrowing down to two choices. All right. Orchid possess humankind's phenomenal adaptability and evolutionary success. Okay. And he says children born with genetical vulnerability need not necessarily be sociopaths. Author का देखे क्या बोल रहा है. In this view, having both Dandelion and Orchid kids greatly raises a family's chance of succeeding over the time and in any given environment. The behavioral diversity provided by these two different types of temperament also supplies precisely what a smart, strong species needs if it is to spread across and dominate a changing world. The many Dandelions in the population provide an underlying stability. The less numerous orchids, meanwhile, may falter in some environment but can excel in those that suit them. And even when they lead troubled early lives, some of the resulting heightened responses to adversity that can be problematic in everyday life increases novelty, seeking restlessness of attention, elevated risk taking or aggression, can prove advantageous in certain challenging situations like war, social strife of many kinds, and migrations to new environment. Together, the steady dandelion and the mercurial orchids offer an adaptive flexibility that neither can provide alone. Together, they open a path to otherwise unreachable individual and collective achievement. Right? Let's go back. Orchid possesses humankind's phenomenal adaptability and evolutionary success. So they will always be successful? No, because उसने क्या बोला कि करेक्ट एनवायरनमेंट होगा तो वो सक्सेस हो जाएंगे. So ultimately, what is the author trying to say? Children born with genetic vulnerability need not necessarily be. हाँ, vulnerable हो सकते हैं, but जरूरी नहीं है. Any doubt? Anyone? If you have a doubt, then yes, otherwise no. ठीक है. ऑलराइट. सो यहाँ पे बेटा देखो वो सर्टेन कर रहा है कि ऑर्किड्स जो होंगे वो हमेशा अच्छा ही करेंगे और वो हमेशा सक्सेसफुल रहेंगे, विच इज नॉट व्हाट द पैसेज इज सेइंग. तो वो कंसिस्टेंट नहीं है विद द ऑथर्स व्यू. दिस ऑन द अदर हैंड इज डेफिनेटली कंसिस्टेंट. बाकी ऑप्शंस देख लेते हैं. पर्संस कैरिंग रिस्क एले एंड अप बीइंग सेल्फ डिस्ट्रक्टिव एंड एंटी सोशल. इनकरेक्ट. दे कैन बी बट नॉट नेसेसरी. बट ऑप्शन ए क्या कर रहा है? कंफर्म ही कर रहा है कि हाँ वो हमेशा ही डिस्ट्रक्टिव होंगे, तो ये होगा नहीं. With a bad environment and poor parenting, all children will have normal life. Please take care of this all, always, only. ये सारे terms. Will have a normal life? No. Some of them are going to be exceptionally good or some of them are going to be exceptionally bad. This is what we read in the last paragraph. तो ये भी eliminate हो जाता है. And last, genes not only make you sensitive to disorders but also responsible for failures of societies. यहाँ पे नॉट ओनली मेक यू सेंसिटिव टू डिसऑर्डर्स, ये पार्ट तो करेक्ट है, बट आर ऑल्सो रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर फेलियर्स ऑफ सोसाइटीज. नो. अभिजीत, कैट का IIM परसेंटाइल हम कैट में, यू वांट टू नो माय परसेंटाइल और यू वांट टू नो कैट का कट ऑफ परसेंटाइल? Waiting for your answer. All right, guys. So this was ZAT previous year 2015 question paper. I'm just repeating this because many of you joined later. So I'm starting a course on 17th of this month. That is from day after tomorrow. Same time. It will be at 10:30 p.m. एंड जैट हमने कर लिया है. हम एक और जैट का पेपर करेंगे इस कोर्स में. सो जैट का प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर. सो इट्स अ 8-day प्रोग्राम जहाँ पे हम प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स ही सॉल्व करेंगे. So this it's going to be ZAT, then there's a previous year question paper of CAT, then it's going to be IIFT. We'll also look at previous year SNAP reading comprehension, and it is just reading comprehension. Then we are going to look at TIS, and reading comprehension based on IRMA, MyCat, because these are the major exams, management entrance exams that you can take. सो ये 8 डे कोर्स है एंड इसमें मैं आपको ये भी बताऊंगी कि एग्जाम में अलग से आप कैट के लिए तो प्रिपेयर कर ही रहे हो, जैसे आज मैंने बताया कि जैट में मैथ्स एंड इंग्लिश, असाइड फ्रॉम मैथ्स एंड इंग्लिश वर्बल एंड क्वांट, आपका डिसीजन मेकिंग और जीके भी आता है. पेपर जनवरी में होता है. सो दोज हु हैव मिस्ड द लेक्चर, दोज हु जॉइन लेट, आप लोग ये लेक्चर दोबारा देख लीजिएगा. So I'll tell you that what different types of questions are asked, how many questions are asked, what is the cutoff, कौन कौन से colleges आपके इन exams का score accept करते हैं, and what are the opportunities after these exams. So all of this will be discussed. So if you're planning to enroll, so this is what you see is my code Jigyasa M. So you can enroll for this code as a course, and you can subscribe to the course by using this code. So that will fetch you a 10% discount. And I'll also just share my number just in case you have any doubts. So you guys can text me. And I hope that you enjoyed the session. CAT IIM cutoff only. Abhijit, that depends with what IIM you are looking at. So मैं 18th को जब course लूंगी, and there will be a special lecture also जिसमें हम सिर्फ cutoffs ही discuss कर लेंगे. But cutoff पे depend करता है. If you're talking about IIM Ahmedabad, then the cutoff is 99.9 percentile, and the 100 percentilers are getting. So anywhere between 99.9, I mean 100 to 99 और 98 तक आपका जो टॉप आईएम्स है वो कर रहे हैं, बेबी आईएम्स है, दे कैन गिव यू अ कॉल एट 97 96 ऑल्सो. बट वो काफी वेरी कर जाता है, बिकॉज हो सकता है कि आपका स्कोर 96 है बट आपके पास 2 साल का वर्क एक्सपीरियंस है, तो बेबी आईएम्स कैन गिव यू अ कॉल. सो दैट डिपेंड्स. सो इफ यू वांट टू नो मोर अबाउट इट, you drop me a message through your learners app, or what you can do is you can reach me out on my mobile phone and we can discuss, so you can have better clarity on this thing. So guys, I hope that you like the course and you're going to enroll. And tomorrow again, I'm planning a lecture, either tomorrow a special class or maybe day after. Okay, what time will suit you guys? Morning 8 o'clock for a special class, or 10:30 in the night? So I'll schedule the special class accordingly. So you guys can type your preferences, so I'll have a better idea. 10:30 is good for everyone. ठीक है. So Abhijit, I have dropped the number, right? I hope you have saved the number. You reached me out, or you can drop me a message. तो हम डिटेल में उसको डिस्कस कर लेते हैं. एंड ठीक है, फिर कल 10:30 का एक और क्लास रखते हैं. So we will conduct one more session on reading comprehension only. एक reading comprehension का एक और session और करते हैं, right? चलो, thank you guys. Good night everyone.